to the ring, the bell's about to chime. Turnbuckle Talk, we're here to shine. Flagship of the airwaves, leading the pack. Breaking news reviews, we've got your back. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat. From AEW to WWE, we cover it all from A to Z. Interviews, insights, and match reviews. If it's wrestling news, we've got the clues. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring the stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat.
What happens when the person enforcing the rules decides she's had enough of them? For weeks now, Jessika Carr has been caught in the middle of chaos involving Becky Lynch. The tension is building, the disrespect is escalating, and you can see it in her eyes. Something is changing. But here's the real question. Is this just officiating drama? Or is the WWE quietly telling the origin story of its next superstar? My name is Carl Carafel. I'm joined alongside Chris Best and OM Dynamic, and this is Turnbuckle Talk, a place where we like to gather and talk about professional wrestling news that you may not have heard of, and we bring that to you on a weekly basis. Our main topic and story of the night is going to be Jessika Carr, Becky Lynch, and what can come from that further. Guys, thank you so much for being here and for jumping on with me to talk about some professional wrestling.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. This is the highlight of my week, to be honest.
I think for me, the highlight of this episode today is going to be that we're not really WWE top heavy as we tend to be sometimes. We have a whole gamut of topics tonight that are from everywhere that you can think of, and even a company, or not even a company, but a collaboration of companies coming together for something that is being called Slam Fest. Now, Slam Fest is going to be happening around the same time that WrestleMania weekend is happening, April 15th to the 18th. And it's involving a number of different companies. And on the screen here, if you were watching us, thank you so much. If you are listening to us in audio format, we have 5 companies as of right now that have come together, including TJPW, House of Glory, CMLL, Stardom, and Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. They're all going to be coming together, giving us a little bit of what they have and what they can do, and giving us just some amazing professional wrestling. Now, I want somebody to correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not really all being done by former WWE star Mojo Rawley?
I'm not seeing who's doing the promotion because I haven't gotten to that article, but I'm seeing promotions that are actually run by other wrestlers. House of Glory, I believe, is Tommy Dreamer's promotion, if I'm not mistaken. Then you got Maple Leaf Pro, Scott D'Amore, who is running that one. But I am seeing that WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley will also be on hand for this as well. Soraya will also be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Matt and Jeff Hardy. This is a show of all shows, basically, and it's during the weekend of the show of all shows, WrestleMania. So, I mean, and I'm looking at it now, and I do see an image of Mojo Rawley, and it is him that is organizing it.
Now, do you know why he is part of this, or how he is part of this?
No, I'm not. He's the co-founder of Paragon Talent Group.
Yes.
Who performed in WWE as Mojo Rawley, as we all know. I didn't know he was running a talent group, though. That's
right.
I Did not know that. Good on him for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm very excited now that I know that it's him behind this all. I thought this was just somebody out there who was just trying to get a quick cash grab. Not gonna lie there.
Some schmuck trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
But
No, it definitely is not.
and to be pairing off with Palms Casino Resort, this is a big deal for the Paragon Talent Group. And when we think of Vegas, Palms Casino Resort is one of those places that we think of. We think of like that. We think of Caesar's Palace.
Mhm.
And for us sports fans, we think of Allegiant Stadium, where WrestleMania is going to be located. And this is one of those things that where this is the perfect time to be doing these kind of wrestling events, especially in the city of Las Vegas, where you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming through that weekend, not just for WrestleMania, but for other events too, where you can go in and check this stuff out.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something that we see year in, year out. And, we talk about this because that is really the two busiest weeks of the wrestling year, with everything going on and trying to keep up on it all. I've done a WrestleMania weekend and there was Ring of Honor shows. There were so many other independent promotions that had shows on in and around, because you're getting that influx
Mhm.
of an audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so Paragon Talent Group, yeah, like you guys, I had no idea Mojo Rawley was running this. This was actually the first time. I didn't see this article when it came up today. But I am intrigued. Like, is it going to be, an MLP show, a CMLL show? Is it going to be cross-branded?
I got you. Hold on. I got you with this. So what's going to be happening is that during the weekend, there's going to be a bunch of different podcasts, comedy shows, and stuff like that. So that's where like the top name talents, Mick Foley is going to be doing his comedy show. Saraya is going to be doing her show, stuff like that. But there is going to be the professional wrestling side of things, where TJPW is going to be happening on Thursday, April the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
As well as CMLL and House of Glory. They're going to be putting on shows. So each respective company is going to be doing and putting on shows. And then on Friday, April the 17th, we're going to be having Stardom and Maple Leaf Pro. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't do some sort of cross promotion between the brands, right? Because why wouldn't you? It's a great idea to be able to do so. But that, as of right now, is kind of how we are seeing things, is that it's going to be each respective company having their time allotted.
Okay. I like that idea, to be honest. It's going to create more exposure for each of these companies who the casual fan might view as an independent company.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the diehards like us know that these are legit companies we've watched, we've paid attention, and we've been aware of them for the past 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots of years we have been aware of a number of these different companies.
Yeah.
Obviously not Maple Leaf Pro, because, well, it's still very relatively new. It is very much so in its infancy still. I don't know much about TJPW either. I know that it's down in Tokyo. That much I know for sure, or over in Tokyo, I guess. But CMLL, Hog, and Stardom, yeah, we've been watching for years.
Yeah.
TJPW, just so you guys know, is Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. It is a women's professional, Japanese professional wrestling league.
Okay.
So now, go ahead.
I highly recommend checking out some of the stuff they've got.
So I am looking at the website as well. Here's a breakdown, because tickets are on sale right now. April 16th, Wednesday at 6 p.m., they're having the 40 years of Mick Foley at the Ghost Bar. The Tokyo Joshi is happening at the Pearl Concert Center at 11 a.m. CMLL, same center. The concert theater is happening at 3 p.m. Then April 16th at 5:30 p.m., they get the Bella Twins It says unknown bar, so I don't know if that's the name of the bar or not, but maybe it is. 16th at 8 p.m. is going to be House of Glory. The Friday the 17th at 3 p.m. is going to be Stardom, or World Wonder Ring Stardom is how it actually is. Just everyone shortens it to Stardom.
Yeah.
5:30 p.m. on Friday is going to be Rule Breakers with Saraya. Friday the 17th at 9 p.m. will be Maple Leaf Pro. And then Saturday at 7 p.m. is going to be a Hardy Party. So that's the entire breakdown. I'm going to click on see event here and see what it says. So this is just for the 40 years of Mick Foley. You can get tickets for it. And it's not pulling up what tickets are immediately for me as I thought that it would. But all in all, this over the WrestleMania weekend is going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so
Yes,
you're looking 54 US ish for
per show or for the weekend.
That's just for the Mick Foley show.
Okay.
Yeah, there are package deals that start at $200 and go all the way up to $2,000
Right.
for this event.
Yeah. But even still, that's not bad. I mean, that's still a nosebleed seat at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I think like for everything that you're going to be getting for a package price, even if it is 15, let's say 1,500. Right. I mean, great.
Yes.
And I got to assume that somewhere in there's got to be like meet and greets with all these wrestlers who are going to be a part of the shows.
I figure there probably would be at some point. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm also reading in this article that this is going to be history making for CMLL.
Yes.
This is their first ever standalone event held outside of Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how wild is that?
Right.
And what's awesome is that it's going to be happening during the WrestleMania weekend. So they're going to be able to get, hopefully a lot of people are going to be able to come out for this. And it's going to be amazing for them in such a historic event.
Yes. And
yeah,
you know what? I really hope that this weekend is a success for all of these companies and Paragon Entertainment for Mojo Rawley.
Right.
So that, we can start seeing more and more of these, especially over big time weekends.
Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. I'm hoping for it to be a success as well. There is something that is not very successful right now. Maybe not necessarily that it isn't successful, but it isn't being very well received at the moment. And that is from our friends over at ESPN. They are unhappy with WWE's WrestleMania 42 blackout policy. What can you guys tell me? I'll start with you, Mr. Best. What can you tell me about this blackout policy?
So we actually talked about this last week too on Turnbuckle Talk, because they attempted to do the same thing with Chicago. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was successful or anything of that nature, but what it is they are blacking out any local businesses within a 50-mile radius of Allegiant Stadium from showing WrestleMania at their establishment. And I tend to agree with ESPN on this one. This is not a good look on the WWE, and it affects your local businesses who are, trying to make a buck, trying to capitalize on the near 80,000 people that will be there or in that vicinity, And this also doesn't look good on ESPN, because this also affects ESPN and the viewership that they will get from these bars.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Dynamic, you feel that ESPN is justified in their feelings?
I absolutely do. This was a topic that you and I discussed a few weeks ago, Carl, when this was first announced. And you've got these businesses that are paying. And it's also been announced on WWE TV that WrestleMania Night 1, the first hour, is going to be broadcast live on ESPN2. And on Night 2, the first hour is going to be broadcast live on ESPN. So why are you now having these blackouts?
I think, again, it comes down to ticket sales. As you know, all three of us in different capacities together have talked about, and I think that's exactly what it is. The ticket sales were not the greatest, and I think as you know, a couple of weeks ago, we had somebody hop onto the stream that was at WrestleMania last year, and then decided that they were going to go this year, and then decided against it as well because it wasn't going to be in the area where they were. You know what I mean?
Right.
But because of the ticket sales, they're now implementing this to stop people in the area from going, right? And now I wonder, has this now, because how do I say this? How do I put this? Is this just businesses that this is aimed towards? Or is this supposed to be anybody within that 50-mile radius?
Anybody within that 50-mile radius. So if you live in the area, you're screwed.
Wow.
See, I didn't get that. I got the sense that it was just for the businesses. Like if you're living at home watching it on ESPN on the app and you've paid for it, you should be able to watch it.
Now it says venues within 50 miles of Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas cannot broadcast the event, even with valid commercial licenses. Many of those businesses had already begun planning watch parties, which is there's several bars that used to do that here, and we used to go to them all the time.
Purple Lantern.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, it was I forgot the name of the bar.
Blue Liners.
Blue Liners. Thank you.
Yeah, Blue Liners.
Yeah.
First off, hold on one second. Hannah, Alex, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you being here. Watching from Texas. Holy golly. That is amazing. We love when we have people from outside of our area watching us. Absolutely love it. I hope that you're a fan of professional wrestling. That's what this show is all about today on Tuesdays at 8:05 Eastern time. We're just going through some professional wrestling discussion today. And if you want to stick around for the end, we're going to be talking a little bit about Jessika Carr, the referee within the WWE, and what might happen with her in the future. Happy Tuesday, Bobby. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much for coming in as well. So I'm sorry about that. Continue on. We got to make sure that our people that are coming in get acknowledged, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, it is the venues, but that still sucks because that takes away like local businesses and the money that they can make. And OMD and I talked about this last week too, and it's like, why couldn't ESPN or the WWE form partnerships with these businesses to maybe divide up some of the money? Maybe you charge a cover cost, like say $10, we'll say, and WWE takes $5 of that. The company that they're partnered with does $5.
Right.
Takes the other $5.
Yeah.
That's just something that I think that it could be beneficial because it would help local businesses get their product out there. It would help the WWE get their product out there, and it would bring in new viewers for ESPN and the WWE. Because let's face it, when we used to go to Blue Liners and Purple Lantern, not everybody was there to watch the wrestling, but they stayed and watched anyways.
Right.
Yep. One of the other things too is like you're not technically allowed to charge a cover charge. So like we discussed it last week with Wacky Wings doing UFC pricing and upping the cost of a beer.
Right. And that's smart, right?
Yeah. But if you go to like, I'll use the Wacky Wings again. When they do their Super Bowl party, when I used to go, it was $25 a ticket, but it was 1 cent wings.
Right.
So that they're making sure they're getting that money if people aren't going to eat 80 to 100 wings at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. So I mean that's where we're at again with this. And yeah, we were talking about, I believe it was Backlash as well last week. You guys were talking about that they're putting this in for as well.
Chamber.
Um,
They did it for Chamber this past weekend.
yes, but it was brought out that other ones as well,
Mhm.
including the Backlash, the one after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That it's going to essentially be the same. And
And,
yeah.
and
So I
this
mean, we're
this
stuck.
isn't the first WrestleMania where they did this. They did this at WrestleMania 22 as well. They not
Right.
only put out a ban for venues around there, but they banned companies from coming in to Chicago, or they tried to ban companies from coming into Chicago that weekend to do
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. Hannah, if you want, I put a link in there. Go to turnbucklestudios.org/hosts. Click on my name, Carl Carafel, and the Instagram link is there if you would like to chat a little bit more. Or you can always send us an email at turnbucklestudios@gmail.com. We are available there as well. I am able to check each one of those. I'm able to check all of the socials. So you are more than welcome to send a quick message over there. Since you're here, I want to do something that may be beneficial to kind of let you know a little bit more about what we do here with Turnbuckle Studios and the different shows that we have. So take a look at this quick video.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night, we have the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
So there you have it. That is everything that we do here with Turnbuckle Studios, and when it's available for you as well. Quick programming note for the next little while. I know it's still inside of the commercial, and I'm going to leave it there for now. There will be a hiatus of Brace for Impact and the Boar's Nest. Just some things have come up, and they just need to take a bit of a hiatus. And we are all about making sure that everyone is in a healthy state of person and state of mind. And the hosts for that show just need a little bit of time. So we are definitely going to give that and allow that to them. So those two shows, Brace for Impact and The Boar's Nest, will just be on a hiatus for the time being. There isn't a lot of hiatusness news that we can talk about, but there is something that kind of blew my mind. Now, I have, been a fan of this professional wrestler for a very, very long time. And unfortunately, this professional wrestler has passed away. And it seems that, I don't want to say that people are capitalizing on his unaliving, on his death, but at auction, we just had a pair of Hulk Hogan's boots that he used during an event at Madison Square Garden be sold. The boots actually are inscribed, and they do say that these are legitimately my boots and were used at an event from MSG and autographed Hulk Hogan. A staggering amount of money. They sold for a record-breaking amount of over $1 million. Now, Logan Paul, professional wrestler, YouTuber, whatever, was in the running for this. The inscription reads, "These are my real boots with my real blood on them from MSG, autographed Hulk Hogan." Logan Paul tapped out at $1,021,000. They sold for $1,037,000. What?
Yeah. And this wasn't just any Madison Square Garden event. This was his boots he wore at WrestleMania 1. In his match where he tag teamed with Mr. T to take on Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper.
Wow.
These boots are like the holy grail of wrestling, basically.
Yeah.
To fetch that price does not surprise me, to be honest with you.
I'll be honest, it surprised me. You want to know why?
Why is
Earlier this year, 2026, boots from WrestleMania 18, the match Icon versus The Rock, those boots only sold for $146,400. I never thought that these boots would get up to over
1.037
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh Lord. Like, what?
To be fair, I thought these boots were lost to time, not gonna lie.
You know what? I can understand it. I don't necessarily agree with paying that much money. But I can understand it for the historical significance, and especially with the fact that they are autographed and the fact that he has passed on. And I'm hoping that the money is going into his estate for his family.
I'm
as
sure
opposed
it would be.
to a charity, as opposed to just, okay, here's $1 million to some auction house because they had Hulk Hogan's boots.
Right.
If I'm being completely honest, if I was the guy who won the bid, I would donate these boots to a wrestling museum somewhere.
That makes sense too. For sure it does. For sure it does. This is just, again, it blows my mind. It really does. And I mean, this is coming off of the heels of Logan Paul's sale of the Pokemon card, of the Pikachu Illustrator card, right?
Yeah.
That he got $16.5 million for, a little less than that for sure. Fees and all of that stuff, right? But it sold for $16.5 million. Now this puts into question for me, is this now going to be almost like a new standard per se? Is this really going to break open the collector market to higher values? Like, could we see a Roddy Piper kilt, right? Could we see Andre the Giant singlet? Different things like that. A Stone Cold vest.
Yeah.
Right? Like these type of collectibles now, is this going to start to make its way up higher and higher and higher in pricing? The only thing that I could see maybe surpassing these Hulk Hogan boots and that sale is maybe a Stone Cold Steve Austin vest, or some John Cena merchandise. You get a pair of John Cena jorts that he autographs and inscribes. I could maybe see that go for over $1 million as well now because of this.
I mean, if it were going to be John Cena's jorts, it'd probably be like the ones he wore at WrestleMania 21 when he beat JBL for the title. Because when you're looking at like Hogan's boots, there has to be like some sort of massive historical significance behind it,
right?
As like these boots do with WrestleMania 1. Can you imagine though what his boots from WrestleMania 3 taking on Andre the Giant would fetch for? They'd probably fetch for more than what this one is. These boots went for.
It's very possible. Yeah.
I really don't see the collector's market driving it up that high. I mean, we know from having watched a show like Most Wanted Treasures,
Right.
you know, yes, they are given a cap, they are given a budget, and they have to make deals.
For sure.
But I don't think you're going to see it. I think you're going to see people who are going to say, I can get a Steve Austin vest. Now, again, if that vest has a historical significance, if it's from WrestleMania when he lost to The Rock, I could see it.
Right.
But I think you're going to see these people, and this is probably just a person that had more money than brains. But I think you're going to see a lot of people be smarter. I mean, we watch not just Most Wanted Treasures, but there's the Greatest Wrestling Collection in Detroit.
Right.
Yes, he has spent, you know, millions of dollars there to build that collection. But he has also worked deals with these superstars as well to build that brand. And then he offers tours.
Okay. That's interesting.
And to be fair, there is a big difference between auctioning an item off versus actually selling from one collector to another as well.
Yes.
Yeah. One collector to another is definitely very, very different. You're going to get collectors that are willing to spend whatever it takes because they have that money available, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Hannah, I just want to let you know that I have taken a look quickly right now. I'm going to come back to that. Well, because we're live right now and I have to pay attention here, but I will definitely take a look over your message. And I thank you for reaching out as well. Yeah. Hulk Hogan's boots, iconic boots, have now sold for over $1 million. And that to me is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Do want to touch on a little bit here of some really, really cool things that are happening as the WWE. Yeah, we're talking WWE now. They have announced details for an upcoming program. Well, it happens every year around this time. And that is called the WWE Hall of Fame. They have announced details for that. Who has information about that for me?
I do. And I can tell you that they are going to host it on the Friday night prior to WrestleMania. This is a situation that I really don't agree with.
Okay.
Because you've moved Stand and Deliver from WrestleMania Saturday to Saturday, April the 4th.
Right.
So normally you're used to having Stand and Deliver, then go into WrestleMania Night 1. Why are you going to host it at midnight Eastern, so our time zone, or 9 p.m. Pacific?
Okay.
When you've got Saturday afternoon free, and you're going to have the fans already in the streets lining up to get into Allegiant Stadium.
Well, because WrestleMania that weekend is going to be in the afternoon for them. Whereas it's going to be like, 7 p.m. here for us. It's going to be 4 p.m. for them there. So if they're going to do this Hall of Fame induction, it's more than likely going to be like 2 hours, we'll say. So if they start at, say, noon, that's 9 a.m. for us. Or sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 3 p.m.
Or sorry, 3 p.m. for us, yes. Which would mean that everybody who's a part of that show would have to skyrocket their way to the Allegiant Arena just to get WrestleMania underway. And as we know, the Hall of Fame is also an all hands on deck type situation. So doing it at 9 p.m. on the Friday, I don't agree with it being after SmackDown, because I always thought that it should be on its own. I thought the Hall of Fame should be on its own day, as should SmackDown.
Right.
But I get it because of what the time is over in Vegas, because SmackDown's going to be at 6 p.m. that day, or at 5 p.m. that day. It's going to wrap up at 8. And now
Right.
they've got an hour to get over there to do the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but typically they do the Hall of Fame in the same venue. They just take the ropes off of the ring.
Not last year, they didn't. They had it in a completely different venue, and that's what they're doing again this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening at Adobe Live at Park MGM.
Yeah, the same stadium, the same place they did it last year.
Yeah. So we do know that this year, headlined by former WWE chairwoman and co-CEO Stephanie McMahon, Grand Slam champion AJ Styles, and the tag team of Demolition, which it's about time.
Yes.
I have not been able to wipe the smile off my face since they were announced.
Because yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to do a little bit of Barry Horowitz and pat my own back, because I said it last year when we talked about them signing their Legends deal on right here on this show. I said that they were going to the Hall of Fame, and here we are a year later.
So now it's been interesting to me that The Undertaker has been used in the capacity to inform each one of these people that they are going to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, it's saying that these are the headline people. Is this all we're getting? Or are we going to be getting maybe a couple more? A Warrior Award, as you know, usually we do. None of that has even been announced. And I mean, Mania is what, 47 days away?
Yeah.
Yeah, 46. And
46. There we go. We're one less day, and we've heard nothing more yet.
Yeah, I do think that there's going to be at least one or two more inductions. And I kind of think that with The Undertaker doing all these announcements, it wouldn't surprise me if he's the host of the show.
I'd be cool with that. Honestly, I would be.
I would be cool with it. I don't see him being the host of the show, but this really started when he and Shawn Michaels interrupted that company call to tell Triple H he was going in.
Right.
I love it because this is just, you know, perhaps the character of characters in WWE history.
Yeah.
To now be able to come out and say, this is my honor. You know, the trail was blazed for me. These are my peers that I got to work with. So I get to have that honor. So this is his way of giving back.
Understandable.
I would be cool with him hosting, but I don't think he's going to do that.
I think it's probably going to be a Michael Cole that is hosting. He is now the voice of the WWE, as what they say, right?
Yeah.
You know, even ESPN says it. I don't know, whatever. But he is the voice of the WWE now. And I really think that it's going to be probably that. But I kind of like the inclusion of The Undertaker being the one that goes and presents this to everyone to say, it is my esteemed honor to inform you that you are within the class of 2026 Hall of Fame. And who better to do it? Like that's just, you know, I'm sure it gives him a lot of joy to be able to do so. And the one that's being inducted and accepting that, I'm sure that they are just tickled pink about it as well. So that's the information that we know right now. That's the most information that we have on the Hall of Fame ceremony that's going to be happening. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more information coming out, and I'm going to be really interested to see the types of merchandise that come out for this as well, because I'm sure there has already been a few things that have been put out there that I have seen, but I'm really hoping that maybe they do a collective of all the inductees that are going in on one print. That would, for me, be really, really cool. And I think what would be really cool for everyone else as well is that whatever show it is that you like here on Turnbuckle Studios, we have our own merch for that.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
I am currently wearing the Turnbuckle Talk shirt that is available over there. There is a large number of items that are available for you over there. Easy and simple for you. Just go to turnbucklestudios.org/shop, or just go strictly to the website, turnbucklestudios.org. It's ticking down below, and there is a section just to click on shop, and it'll take you right there. Click on what you like, and it'll take you right to the store. What is in store for the New Japan Cup? Well, we have a little bit of information on that as well. I do believe that it was you, Mr. Best, who posted this.
Yeah, and it was kind of a bit of distressing news for me, considering this guy's one of my favorite competitors in the New Japan Cup right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tomohiro Ishii won't be competing in this year's New Japan Cup. Sadly, he was pulled from the annual single elimination tournament due to a neck injury, and this isn't the first time he's suffered an injury. I believe it was a couple years ago he had that major concussion injury. We didn't know if he was going to come back or not.
Right.
But there has been a replacement here, and I see his face there, and I'm drawing a blank on who it is that's replacing him.
Satoshi Kojima.
Thank you. Satoshi Kojima will be replacing him in the tournament. The most I can say right now for Tomohiro Ishii is we wish you a speedy recovery. I'd love to see you come back in the ring, and I'd love you to see you kick butt in next year's New Japan Cup.
Yeah. Tomohiro Ishii is perhaps my favorite New Japan pro wrestler. And yes, I remember watching some of New Japan when I was watching it on Access TV. Love watching him and what he does when he goes over to AEW working with the conglomeration.
Yep.
So he's probably, the reason he's probably my favorite is because he's also the one I've been exposed to the most.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But best wishes to you, Tomohiro Ishii. Get well soon. Hope you're back and kicking butt sooner than later.
I share those same sentiments, and I believe that it will not be a long time before we see him again. They don't call him the Stone Pitbull for no reason. This 50-year-old man is going to be back and competing again real soon. Just unfortunate that he will probably be missing out on the entire New Japan Cup tournament this year.
This guy's not just a stone pitbull. The guy's a machine. Anytime I've heard of him getting injured, and it would be one of those injuries that he'd be out for like several months, or any other wrestler would be out for several months. No, 2 months later, there's Tomohiro Ishii back in the ring.
Right. Yeah, just an amazing talent, and we just really do wish him the best and a speedy recovery from this injury. It's still we still really don't know very much about the injury, but we do know that he is injured and will be out.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is an injury of sorts, I guess you could say, that could have come, possibly will still come, but maybe not. There might be some recovery happening here after all. The sale of Warner Brothers Discovery took a huge turn last week. Netflix, who agreed to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery, withdrew their bid, which allowed Paramount Skydance to make their way in for the cover. Now, what does this mean? As we have said and asked before, what will this mean for AEW? Now, we have been hearing the rumblings that it could go just to a different area. We're looking at HBO Max with Paramount Plus. Anybody have information on this as well?
Yeah, so the Skydance CEO David Ellison recently revealed that some of the plans for Paramount has for WBD during the investors call. He stressed he wants to keep both properties, WBD and HBO, independent. He admitted that there was a plan put in place to combine HBO Max and Paramount Plus into one streaming service sometime down the road. So that sometime down the road could be 6 months from now, could be 5 years from now. Who knows?
Yeah.
So at this point in time, I don't think that there is going to be a move for AEW. I think they're going to be sticking on HBO Max for now. And to be clear, this is for everybody who's in the States. Anybody who's got HBO Max around the world, you're not getting AEW on there. And that saddens me because I do have HBO Max as part of my crave, and I would love to see AEW on there.
Right.
Right. And, we get AEW televised here on TSN for Dynamite and on the Canadian version of the USA Network for Collision.
Mm-hmm.
What I would love to see is then whether it's Crave in Canada, be able to pick up those streaming rights to broadcast it the next day. I would still, and for us, like, we can get our Paramount Plus through Amazon Prime.
Right.
So again, I'd like to see that shift instead of having to pay $65 to watch an AEW pay-per-view on Amazon.
Yeah.
Bring AEW from Paramount Plus to Amazon Prime here, whether it's here in Canada or whether you want to do it globally. You can use Amazon shipping for your merch.
Mm-hmm.
And then, open it up and do like Netflix has done with the WWE and carry everything.
Yeah. We have no idea what's going to be happening, what's going to happen, what's planned, what's not planned. All we know is that it is supposed to be happening, at least for those in the United States of America at this time. Unlike all of that, we are not subjective just to the United States of America. We are worldwide, baby. And if you are looking for a way to get your product out there, become part of a group of people that have a passion for not just professional wrestling, but for gaming, entertainment, and doing stuff like this, we're here for you.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And what I find absolutely amazing is that this little thing that I started, Turnbuckle Studios, having one show, Turnbuckle Talk, has grown into a large place where we have shows every single day. And I am just absolutely blown away at how this has grown into what it is. And if you want to help out in different capacities, we are still in an infancy, I guess you could say, where we're not making money at this. We are definitely working towards that. But if you want to be part of it on the ground level, we would love to have you and love to have the ideas that you have. And we would love to help each and every one out as best as we can as well, because that's what we do here with Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. We are inclusive, and we want just to be people that are able to help. I don't think there's any helping Becky Lynch if these things come to fruition. Now, all of this information that we're going to be going through right now is all just speculatory at the time. But we need to talk about Jessika Carr. And we need to talk about when she is going to reach her breaking point, when she's going to take off those stripes, and she's going to give some body slams. It's been an interesting story going through all the way to be able to see, again, Triple H, kind of running a bunch of the stuff, really enjoys these long-term stories. This is definitely turned into one of those beautiful long-term stories. And I am seriously just sitting here itching, waiting, scratching, clawing, doing everything I can, going, give it to me, give it to me. I think it's almost time that we're going to be seeing Jessika Carr in the ring. And I love it.
Yeah, we noticed this I want to say way back in October when everything started happening here with Jessika Carr. Initially, I wouldn't say screwing Becky out of the first Intercontinental title run, but making her lose the title, we'll say. She put all the blame on Jessica at that time. And then as Becky tried to reclaim it a couple of times over, she still put the blame on Jessica.
Right.
To the point where she eventually did win the Intercontinental title, and it seemed to have simmered off and tapered off, but we still saw those hints of like Becky ripping the Intercontinental title out of Jessica's hand after she would have successfully defended it or something like that. And just those subtle looks from Jessica being annoyed at Becky for having done that. And then it all came to a head at Elimination Chamber there, where Becky and AJ both accidentally got physical with Jessica. And this is where I think Jessica's like, okay, I've had enough of this woman.
Right. Well, this even goes back to WrestlePalooza when Jessika Carr reffed the mixed tag match between AJ Lee, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Becky Lynch.
Right.
But yeah, the thing that really stood out to me as we built up to this was this past Saturday, before there was even any incidental contact between Becky and Jessica or AJ and Jessica, the turnbuckle pad came off. Becky went to go and drive AJ's head in there, and Jessica stepped in front, arms folded, and nope.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and it wasn't that the turnbuckle came off. Becky took it off earlier in the match.
But do we want to jumpstart Jessika Carr on the main roster in that feud with Becky Lynch, or do we want her to get some reps in? Like, we know she's worked in Evolve, or we believe she's worked in Evolve.
Right.
Would it be better for her to go and get that work in NXT and then come up?
Well, see, if they were prepping for this match, because they probably would have had her for this potential match, we'll say, they probably would have had her training at the Performance Center to make sure she got her reps in there.
Right. And I mean,
yeah, I'm sure she has been.
This is not a situation we're unfamiliar with. We've seen Earl Hebner snap and then get involved in a match, both in WWE and TNA. We saw referee Slick Johnson in TNA, referee Shane Sewell in TNA, and trying to remember because there was another fairly recent ref that did it in the WWE before this situation.
Mike Chioda. He did it. Jimmy Corderas has done it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the 80s with Danny Davis.
Yep.
Very, very true. Now, again, I love this long-term storytelling that's been going on for this.
Yeah.
This can definitely turn into a future rivalry as well when it comes to WWE storylines. Now, I wonder how the WWE universe would react to Jessika Carr becoming that professional wrestler and leaving behind the referee stripes.
Yeah, I see. That's I thought the same thing too, Carl. Because again, I'm going to go back to Danny Davis in the '80s and how much he got because he was the heel referee, and he would favor the heels in all the matches he refereed. I mean, it all came to a head when he cost the British Bulldogs the tag team titles for the Hart Foundation.
Right.
And that's when Jack Tunney stepped in and said, okay, you're out as a referee, and he comes back as a wrestler. He was a massive heat magnet during that time.
Oh, yeah.
But for Jessika Carr, you have to craft out a storyline here to make us care about Jessika Carr wanting to come in and beat up Becky Lynch.
Right.
And
I think they've been doing well.
Oh yeah. They for sure have. I was just going to say that. Like I'm 100% on board, and I'm looking forward to this possible matchup.
Right. Even with the work on social media that these two have done, and I will give full kudos to Becky for really carrying that. But I have to wonder, is this going to become that sort of a one-off type of situation where Jessica is going to put the stripes aside for a night and say, okay, the stripes are off. This is a one-shot deal. And I'm going to say potentially Backlash. I'm not going to put that match at Mania.
No.
But potentially Backlash. This is that one time you get to put your hands on a ref in a match, and I can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, that's the $64,000 question there, OMD is. I remember, I'm going to use a storyline where Tommy Dreamer came up with this great story for Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman was like, he explained it all. Paul Heyman was like, okay, but what happens after? That's the question we've got to ask with Jessika Carr. Does she continue as a wrestler, or does she go back to being a referee? That's what we got to look at here.
And that's where I was going. It's a one-off. So then she goes back to being a ref. Maybe you move Jessika Carr to SmackDown afterwards so that you can't have that interaction. You can't deal with that. Maybe you move Becky to SmackDown so that way they can have this one off, blow it off, and you can still have Jessika Carr training, working in Evolve, or getting the reps as a competitor to come back up and then say, okay, I am now stepping away from officiating. And it's a slow, gradual transition that we don't see here.
Right. Either way, this is going to be very, very interesting, and I am invested in it, and I am definitely happy with the direction that everything is going. We want to thank each and every one of you for being here with us on this edition of Turnbuckle Talk. For Chris Best, for OM Dynamic, and for myself, Carl Carafel. Thank you once again for being here. Remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.
Flagship show setting the tone. In the world of wrestling, we stand alone. With news and reviews, we lead the way. Turnbuckle Talk every day. Turnbuckle Talk every day.